Now for this next one, once again, you can either use a ball, use a foam roller, or you can find a different object that you can use. But I'm gonna lay on my left side, and I'm gonna use my ball for this one. I like having something that's a little bit bigger, so on the side view, this ball keeps me higher up because my leg's gonna be resting on top of it. The foam roller puts me a little bit lower down. If you have a foam roller and you want to bring it up, you also have the option of taking a couple of yoga blocks, putting that foam roller on top of your yoga blocks, and then doing the exercise that way. Then it'll actually bring you up a little higher than even this ball will, because I have it a little bit deflated right now. So just know that those are options for you. Laying on my left side here, I'm going to bring my left leg up and in front of me and just get it kind of out of the way. And my right leg is going to be on that ball. I don't want the leg in front. I also don't want it way behind you. Try and set up such that let's get myself on the mat here. Try and set up such that your knee is kind of underneath your hip rather than being front or behind. But you can play with different angles. Honestly, it's not the end of the world. It might even be a good thing for you to play with. Now what's going to happen here is I'm going to be taking the top side of my pelvis, and I'm going to try and depress it or move it away from me, and then I'm going to try and bring it back up. So what I should feel is I should feel my right side abdominal wall lengthening and the left side shortening as I reach my foot away from me. And then I should feel the opposite. The top of my pelvis should come up. It should hike up on the right side. Everything should shorten on this right side when I come back. And we're just going to maintain, or we're going to mobilize, I should say, that pelvis as we go through it. But I do want you to make sure that when you come back up, that you aren't extending your low back and arching your spine. So if anything, I want you to maintain a very slight tuck of your pelvis, or maintain very slight lumbar flexion, or even just neutral spine when you do it. And just try not to rely on extending your low back as you come up. So what we're going to do, nice slow inhale. Before we do anything, just give me a full exhale. And you should feel your abs engage. Just try not to lose them as we go through this. You can breathe normally, you don't have to hold your breath now. But now I've felt my obliques kick in. I'm just going to see if I can maintain that. And I'm going to see how far I can now roll the ball away from me. Okay, so I'm going to try and get that right heel to get as far away from my ear as I can. And that is going to require a lengthening of this abdominal wall on this side. And I'm going to notice that my left side abdominal wall kind of lifts in the process. Then I'm going to reverse, and you'll reverse with me. Pull that pelvis up and close on that side. So now all of my abdominal tissue, or my right abdominal wall, has now shortened. Now I'm going to add one thing here. As you reach your heel away from you, make that leg long, lengthen that right side abdominal wall. Get your leg, or lighten the pressure of your leg on your roller, on your ball, on whatever you're using. Then you're going to feel your glutes kind of engage a little bit. Keep those toes pointed straight ahead. Try not to let them rotate up towards the ceiling. And then when you come back, I actually want you to put a little bit of pressure down into the ball as you come back up. Okay, so pressing the ball down and rolling it towards you to shorten that top side. And then getting lighter on the ball as you roll it away from you and lengthening that top side. And we're going to do a few more here. Keeping that pelvis slightly tucked, so don't let your low back extend. And then same thing, gliding away from you. Leg gets a little lighter on the ball as you move away. Leg gets heavier on the ball as you come towards you. Shortening that top side, and then lengthening that top side. So the distance between my pelvis and my ribs increases when I make my leg long, and then the distance between my pelvis and my ribs decreases and shortens as I make my leg shorter. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we'll flip around. You're now going to have your right leg in front, your left leg underneath you. You can tinker with where you want that ball, meaning do you want it a little bit lower down your leg? Do you want it a little bit higher up your leg? You can play with that variable. We're okay with that. Right leg's going to be in front. Toes are going to be pointed straight ahead, not up towards the ceiling. I like to have my top hand on my pelvis just so I can feel my pelvis moving. Again, full exhale. That's gonna help you control extension, engage your abs. I'm just gonna maintain some engagement in our abs as we go through this. I'm gonna make my left leg as long as I possibly can, which means that my pelvis is gonna drop down. I'm gonna get a lot of length through that top side. Then I'm gonna reverse. I'm gonna get heavy on that ball as I roll it towards me and shorten up my top side abdominal wall. Then we're gonna roll back away. Everything lengthens. Make that leg as long as you possibly can. You're gonna bring it towards you, keeping that slight pelvis tucked. Don't let your low back arch. And then going away, leg gets lighter on the ball. So my leg's gonna get a little bit higher in the air as I reach away from me. But then I'm gonna compress that ball down as I pull that leg towards me. Continuing on, getting that pelvis to drop on the left side, getting all that length through there. See how long you can make this top side of your torso. And then reverse, leg gets heavier on that ball. You're pressing down as you pull that leg towards you, seeing how much you can compress that top side. Drive away, the leg gets lighter on the ball, lighter on the object. Pull towards, drive that ball down, leg gets heavier on that object. One more time, going away, toes stay pointed straight ahead. Find as much length as you possibly can through that abdominal wall. Get that pelvis to drop as low as you can. And then you're gonna reverse and you're gonna hike that side up once again.